Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Brownie Culture. I'm a divorce mediator and I help you create a customized divorce so that you can uncouple consciously and respectfully. So, to those of you who are watching the States, happy King Day. Um, it's a great day, and most of you have the day off. So, that's a nice bonus. Today, I wanted to talk to you about regret. And the reason I do is because when you go through a divorce, regret is natural. It is something that happens and it's not fun to deal with. So it's really important to know, how do you deal with this regret so that it does not cripple you the rest of your life. Okay, so I titled it Divorce. I'm sorry, yeah, divorce does suck, but regret sucks too, because sometimes divorce can be the most healthy thing for you and it can be the catalyst for great change in your life. But if you are saddled with regret, then that greatness and that change can never happen because that regret is holding you in the past. So, here are a couple of questions, and depending on how you answer it, will help oh, do I have regret or not? So, the first question is, did you do everything you could to try to salvage your marriage? So if you said yes, you may not have regret about ending your marriage versus a person who said no. They may or may not, they may have more regret. Another question to ask is, did you stay too long? Did you know that your marriage was unhealthy or toxic or unsafe? And then did you stay too long? Because if you stayed too long, you may regret that you're not further on in your journey than you could be had you left sooner, when you realize, I need to be out of here. And then one more question is, do you regret taking him or her back? Maybe there was an affair or something like that, and you guys worked on it, or maybe not. Maybe you didn't work on it. Maybe you just took them back, and things aren't any better. I actually know a woman who confided in me that years there was some infidelity, and while she was a lot older now, there is regret for the path that she took. So, one of the first ways to avoid future regret is to take your time now. When you are making life altering decisions, please don't make them suddenly. Don't just be pissed off one day and download some divorce papers and file them and just be like, I'm sick of y'all. Take your time. You may feel that way, and you may feel that way a week from now or 10 weeks from now, however long it takes you to make up your mind. But don't rush, because when you rush, you never know if there could have been a better alternative. Some people take too long to decide to divorce, and some people rush into it. So you kind of have to know your own proclivities. Are you someone who rushes to make a decision? Then make sure you slow down. Are you someone who drags their feet and is like, can never decide, and you need somebody else to decide for you? Nobody else can decide for you unless you're waiting for your spouse to file. So slow down. If you go too slow, you might need to speed up a little bit. But the best way to avoid future regrets is to take your time to make these big giant decisions, because divorce is painful. Even if you mediate, which I hope you do, but divorce is still really painful. So in order to minimize your pain, you need to know in your knower that you're making the right decision. Okay. Now, let's talk about when you have made decisions and you are currently dealing with regret, right? You've got regret right now. You've made these decisions and you're like, if I could go back in time, like Marty McFly from Back to the Future, I would do X, Y, and Z, and I wouldn't do ABC. But we know that that's not possible. So we have to move on. We can only live right here and then walk into the future. So how do we deal with regret that is already existing? And we all have regrets. And I hope that a lot of people try to live their lives without regret. And part of that is living your life carefully, maybe not cautiously where you're in fear, but you're careful. You're careful about the decisions you make and the ramifications on its future. Will I regret never taking up the Clotter Boys? This is me. Never taking up the Clotter Boys on their invitation to teach me how to surf when we were in college. Yeah. And so now I'm trying to fix that regret. Minor. It's a minor thing. But when you look at divorce, how do we deal with regret? So the first thing you need to do is, if you have made a decision or have said something or have done something that you regret, you got to forgive yourself. I know it's not that easy, but you got to forgive yourself for either your action, maybe you were hasty, or your inaction. Maybe you didn't leave and you should have left 20 years ago and you never pulled the trigger on that. You never left. You got to forgive yourself, because you can never be healthy and whole if you are walking around with self-inflicted wounds. And that's what regret is. Another way, you've got to acknowledge that you feel regret. And feeling regret, you just feel like crap. Okay, but you got to feel it. And you can't just be like, oh, I feel regret, and then just go about your day. No, you got to sit down, you got to feel it. So you got to let it pass through you so that you can move on. So you have to be like, man, I feel like, insert your favorite curse word, and then feel it for 20 minutes or so, however long it takes to pass. And then, if you haven't forgiven yourself yet, or you couldn't forgive yourself, you probably will be able to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. Make things right as much as it is up to you. There are some things that are in your power to make right, such as apologizing for your actions. I think if there's infidelity and you were the one who committed infidelity, you can apologize for that, but it's got to be sincere. And if you're trying to restore your marriage, there's got to be more than words behind it. There has to be a boatload of actions behind it. So, but maybe you apologize because you have a temper, or because you left too soon, or because you have an attorney who's a bulldog and is attacking your spouse. If you can make things right as much as it is up to you, make them right. Another way you can make things right, especially if you're like, I stayed too long, you can leave. You can decide, okay, 20 years later, I should have left, but I'm going to leave now. I need to do this now. And do it. Live your life for you. If it's not serving you anymore, if it's hurting you, if it's toxic, one of the ways you can make it right is to end the relationship. And then you can forgive that other person. So this is not making things, you can't really make things right by forgiving someone. That doesn't really work that way, because forgiveness is an internal thing. But you can release yourself by forgiving. And here's the thing about forgiveness. Even if the person, you don't have to speak to the person to forgive them. They could be dead and you can still forgive them, because forgiveness is not about the other person. It is not about wiping away or cleansing or pardoning. That's a good word. Pardoning their actions. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself from the prison that your unforgiveness has put you in, because then you're bound and you're connected to that person for life. And here's the thing about unforgiveness. So if somebody has hurt you and you're unforgiving, then you're always thinking about them. They always come up. And then if it's your spouse and you're around them and there's kids and you're fighting, that conflict and that unforgiveness just serves to keep you more and more connected with them. And you're like, I'm getting a divorce. I'm trying to be disconnected from you. So forgiveness is a really powerful tool. But the thing is, it's not instantaneous, and it doesn't have to be. You just, when you feel like, I can't stand this person, or I'm still mad about that Just be like, I forgive this person for this nonsense that they did, and move on with your day. And over time, your heart will begin to believe that and it will let it go. And then lastly, I think this is the best thing. Turn your regrets into teachable moments. Like, learn from your mistakes and then pay it forward. Teach somebody else who is walking down the path that you were once on, so that they can learn from your mistakes so that they don't have those regrets. And then suddenly your regrets are not mistakes anymore. They're valuable tools that allow you to help greater society. So don't forget that just because you've made a mistake, it doesn't mean you can't, turn that around and make something amazing out of it. All right. I think that's all I have for you today. If this spoke to you, if you were like, yes, I would love to know what you choose to do. Like, one of my go-to things for me too, I take my time and then I work on forgiveness, which I honestly hate. I want to forgive you. I hate it. But forgiveness is all about me, and I don't always want to work on myself. I don't always want to be real with myself. I don't always want to let someone's offenses go. Like I said, it doesn't erase them, but I don't know. There's something about holding on to that and being like, I was wronged. There's something about being like, I was wronged, and it feels good, but it's not a healthy place to be. So that's one of the things I work on is forgiveness. And it's not something that I enjoy, but I would love to know how you deal with your regret, or how do you avoid regret? So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Guys, enjoy your holiday. I'm so happy to be with you. I can't wait to see you next week. And hey, don't let anyone rush you into a divorce. Take the time that you need so that you know this is the best decision for you. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.